the Louis Diaz podcast.
And your name is there
My name, yes.
and there. Great. Now we can talk.
Woo!
Hey, well, welcome and thanks for coming here.
No, thank you for having me. This is fucking sick. Look where we are.
It's so cool, huh? Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm still sort of pinching myself a little bit about this experience because it's been now probably, when did I first record here? I think it was episode 35. This is episode 94.
Wow.
So for the most part, apart from maybe, I'm just going to, maybe one or two episodes, most of those like 59 episodes has been here,
Wow.
right? And there's been some experiences. There's been some definite experiences, like when I met Peter Somadelis, he was someone, I haven't spoken to Peter in ages, to be honest, but
Yeah.
he was someone that just saw me as he was walking past.
I love that.
Yeah, and he and that day, that day I had 2 recordings,
Mm.
and he saw me like pretty much after the first one, and I was like, "Oh, he was like, "I want to do it. Can we do it? Can we do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, but like I've got another guest on, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have to tee this up for another time." And he's like, "No, I'll wait. We'll do it after." I had to run to JB Hi-Fi and buy a second SD card because I ran out of space just to do an episode with him down there. I messed up the first 10 minutes because he wanted me to do it in front of his art down there. So I had to grab all my stuff, take it down. And then for the first 10 minutes, I forgot to press record because I'm all over the shop. And then there was a guy walking down the laneway threatening people. He had blood pouring out of his face. It's like just reflecting back on the last 59 something episodes. And now I get to sit in front of you and continue the journey of this, whatever it is we're doing here, this podcast, whatever it's becoming.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, what's your podcast about?" And I'm like, honestly, I don't know.
About humans.
Yeah. What isn't it about? What does it need to be about? It's like, that's a tricky, just a touchy subject for me because of social media's trained people to go and find niches and, be specific.
Mm.
But also it's like, no, I want to do this because I love telling people stories
Yeah.
and I should be allowed to just do it for that reason,
And that is like the uniqueness. You are a storyteller. Like, you tell people stories, and it kind of reminds me of like Humans of New York vibes, where it didn't matter who they were, but it was someone's story.
Yes, I've heard about Humans of New York.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. You look good, by the way.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like this hoodie.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. It's my new
The
getup.
hair, the hoodie, everything.
Thank you so much. I actually have matching pants as well, but yeah, didn't wear them today. But I like wear comfy clothes so much. Like I work from home, like I'm in comfy clothes. So I was like, I might as well get myself a tracky set that makes me feel good.
Yeah, you look good. Yeah, it's
Thank
working.
you.
Last time I saw you was at your party in June.
Yeah.
It feels like literally a long time ago. It would have been about 3 months ago almost.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. It feels like a lifetime has happened since then. But why don't we let you tell us about that party? Because it was it was a different kind of event to what
Yeah.
I've ever experienced. I've never experienced anything like that before. I found it challenging, to be honest,
Yeah.
because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
So why don't we unpack that a little bit?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to unpack that with you. It's crazy because it is like 2.5 months away and I was like so ready for like winter hibernation and like getting like recharging my first winter in years. And I'm like, oh my God, the winter's gone. Like, have I really hibernated and recharged enough? Am I ready for like my doof festival season's just started? I'm like, but yeah, it was a couple of months of downtime since that event.
That's
so
good. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like it's an alcohol-free club event.
Yeah.
Is essentially what it is, and
I hadn't been to one of those since I was a teenager.
yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't.
But you had been to like it was like a blue light disco type vibes.
Disco party.
Yeah, disco party.
Yeah, a little blue light disco thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even go to those much.
Yeah.
We were already hitting the piss, pardon my French, but from when we were like 15.
Yeah.
With the suburban bonfire parties.
Mm.
So for me, it's like remembering when the last time I actually came to a gathering, like with music and people that were there to have a good time that didn't have alcohol involved.
Yeah.
It was really stretching my memory.
Yeah. And like, so what part of it is it like, would you have felt comfortable knowing that you could walk in and go straight to the bar and have a drink? Like why was it weird for you?
Yeah, yeah. And you probably get this a lot. It's like, for me, and we went straight into me, and we hadn't even let you finish telling us what it was about. But let's just go with the flow.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it's become customary to walk into a room of strangers. Well, I know there's going to be strangers there, like in any bar I've ever walked into.
Yeah.
But to go straight to the bar and have a friendly face to talk to. And that is not, I don't know, like say it's a brand new bar. I don't always know the bartender,
Yeah.
but I know that there's at least one person in this room who's happy to talk, who wants to talk to me right now.
At least they're getting paid to do it.
And they get, well, obviously they're
so-
getting paid to do it. They're going to smile at me. They're going to ask me what I want, and they're going to be interested in my order, and they're going to make it for me, and then I'm going to consume it. And that's going to break the ice for me in this venue.
Yeah.
In this venue right now, it's going to break the ice. And then I'm going to have the cool, I'm going to have a drink in my hand that's going to refresh me or whatever, if that's even if non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm going to feel like, oh, okay, I might try the social thing with another person in this room now. I might just, oh yeah, I've seen you here before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's kind of like a breaking the ice into the...
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that. I mean, not that there was a bar available and there was like a table there, but I didn't, you know what I mean?
I think it's because also it was like not only that it was an alcohol-free event and that's new, it was also a completely new scene and community,
that's
and there
true.
weren't the friendly faces where you could just like, oh, I've seen this person before, I know this venue, like everything was new. So, and so that would have
Everything
made
was
it
new.
more challenging. But like, so the event, there's alcohol, it's alcohol free. However, we have a bar that has like, non-alcoholic drinks, like heaps normal beer. But we have what's the most special is a magic elixir bar. And so,
That's right. I visited that.
yeah, you visited that. So like that bar is like you choose your drink based on how you want to feel.
Yeah.
And like they actually, so yes, you get that connection with like the bartender, but they're actually asking you like, hey, so how are you feeling right now? How do you want to feel? Like, if so, and they're listening to that, and then based on your answer, oh, I'm actually feeling a little bit anxious, or oh, I'm a bit tired and I'd love to have more energy. Based on that, they will prepare a drink made with love and intention to enhance your mood and help you get there. And then you could even go, is there any cheeky stuff? And they have an under the counter
Oh, really? I didn't know about
that
that.
you could maybe have some more natural buzzers as well to the next level. So in that respect, you can still have that process.
Yeah. And to be fair, also, I was ready for hibernation season 2.
Yeah.
I'd been recording this podcast for all summer, and I just came out for a huge May of like 10 recordings in a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm ready. I'm not ready to be another event just yet. So it was a challenge for a bunch of reasons, but you did a great job. You were MC, you were a great host, you were making everyone feel welcome. And then we had arranged to do this beforehand, and so you invited me there. And then I'm just thinking, I've got to figure out this girl's story. I got to work out where all this began. I want to know where you come from and what your experience has been like to get you to this point. Especially because I was watching one of your reels or a story yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? I can't even remember. Time flies too quickly. Maybe in the last 2 days or so.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a client. Apparently you've got a client. They've just done your course. You've got a course.
Yeah.
And they've had some massive breakthroughs. And I listened to the whole thing
Cool.
which is what I normally do with everything, by the way. I just listen to the whole thing. Apparently it's really common for people to swipe away.
Oh yeah, there's that on Instagram. Like, do they watch more than 3 seconds? Like,
I wasn't fully engaged because You were talking about a particular drug. I'll let you talk about it if you want. That I have a friend who has who got real deep into it, and I never understood it because it didn't really do anything for me.
Mm.
I didn't feel like but when you were talking about why this particular client of yours was doing it, I was like, oh. And then I was thinking about my friend, and I was like, oh, wow. I didn't realize, I've always thought, because I wasn't introduced to drugs until I went to nightclubs.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything about them.
Mm.
I started working in a nightclub.
Okay.
And
Crash
people,
course.
yeah. And people are around me. I didn't even know they were taking drugs for ages.
Yeah.
I was
cool.
naive.
Yeah.
I was so naive. And then suddenly, after working in a nightclub for a little while, you're going to get exposed. So then my idea of drugs was just like people were taking them to have a good time, for an enhanced a good time. I never thought that someone could take it to escape from anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're probably thinking, who am I talking to? This guy has no idea.
No.
Oh, I just never thought people took them to escape from stuff.
But I don't even think the people that are doing that necessarily know they're doing it for a long time, because I certainly didn't.
And then upon this realization, that I'm like, well, what are my habits? And I've got some habits. Even alcohol,
Yeah.
I got all of the vices. It made me reflect on my vices and going, it's not like I'm better. I'm not morally superior or anything like that. What it is that I just had a different mechanism
Yes.
for that same thing that person's taking that for.
Yeah.
I've been going there and doing that
Yeah.
for that. And I'm like, so many ways to escape.
Literally, and Gabor Mate is a really powerful teacher on addiction and many other things in life. He's in his 80s, and he talks about it doesn't matter if it's there's no difference between the junkie addict and the person that's just numbing out on their phone all the time, in the sense of they've both trying to escape dis-ease and discomfort in their body, and the addiction is when it becomes you're doing this thing and there's negative consequences from it. So that's why I think the thing is though, drugs are fun. Part of the reason I liked them so much for a long time is because they just made me do that. They were just fun and excitement and made me feel alive, and they're values of mine, that I like to jump off cliffs. I like to, do crazy things. I like to feel alive. But so I kind of lost where I was going with that.
No, sorry, I just tried to I took sneaky photos.
What
You
did I
didn't
say?
well, you were talking about in Gabor Mate.
Yeah, but being alive and so there is a part of it. I was taking drugs to it is part of it to have fun and be rebellious and all these things. But also I was escaping a lot of emotions that I was feeling that I never really processed. So from childhood and growing up and never really learning about emotions, and just becoming a party gal. And then, my party gal life was one big escapism from actually dealing with the stuff that I hadn't yet processed from childhood.
Relatable, 1,000,000% relatable.
Yeah.
And I'll finish with that now. Sorry.
That's okay. I used
If
to...
if I'm not getting it, no one else is giving it to me.
Yeah.
So apologies.
No, you're fine. But I used to say I never take drugs I never take drugs because I'm having a bad day. It's always for the fun, da 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 da. But I was yeah, I actually am kind of just escaping a lot of things just by my lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, it's very relatable. You didn't, and the trap of it is, none of us realize it when we're getting into it. We've got some kind of trauma, we'll call it, as a blanket word. I think it's been used a lot, but it's the most appropriate word.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that you've got it because it's just life, and you're young. You're an adolescent. You've just turned into an adult. you just think to yourself, oh, everyone goes through stuff, or that was normal because that's my life. That, you know, people always say to me, oh, that must have been so hard growing up without your dad. I'm like, well, no, because I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then after a while, you start to realize, oh, okay, some of the stuff I was exposed to, and that isn't necessarily harder or different than anyone else, but it required some ability or some opportunity at some point to be able to unpack it
Yeah.
and express it and how I felt about it. But when you don't, especially as a young person, men and women, you're like, you're thinking to yourself, why am I having such a good time at this club right now? You know, whoa, this is good. I want to come back. I'm doing this again next week.
Yeah.
And next week, because you're having, like, now you're having a blast.
Yeah.
And then after, like, you know, a couple of seasons of that good time, you're like, oh, I'm really tired. I'm really stressed. Things aren't going so good at work. But it's like I need to be here doing this. I need this. And you're like, okay, now there's a problem. And for me, that wasn't a couple of seasons. That was a couple of decades worth of seasons.
Yeah.
And you know those people.
I mean, I remember it was easier for me to count in a year how many times I didn't do MD, so I could work out how many weekends I did do MD. It was easier to say like how many there weren't there.
That's so good. Sorry. I mean, good as in like funny.
Yeah, no.
It's a great way of counting.
Yeah, I was like,
didn't need
wait,
to get
I
your-
swear I had one weekend off there.
You're on a bead counter? You're one of those bead counters?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that hard to figure out, which is obviously like not healthy. And the thing is, like, I never learned about tolerance. I never learned about like, okay, you know, if you want to do this for forever, which I want to do, then, you know, take it just every 3 months or like sustainability.
Right. The heart of your story then is, and we're 10 minutes in. At the heart of your story is being able to make enjoying life sustainable.
Yes. And the realization at the heart of my story is that electronic music and being in the electronic music culture gives me so much soul nourishment.
It's
like
a rush.
it is in my heart. Like nothing, my greatest love is dancing to electronic music.
You know, I don't hang out in that scene, but when I go and I'm there, I'm like, hell yeah, like give me some of that bone rattling bass and like, you know, like in that room, like in that environment where everyone else is just, it's like an elevated frequency, isn't it?
It is.
I can see how you are so attracted to it, and so you feel so empowered in that kind of environment because it really is.
And like everyone has a different like passion, you know. I like to say like us, you know, ravers, doofers and stuff, it's kind of like how people love sport. So, you know, we cheer when the drop is epic, like you cheer for a goal, and then you have like your captain who's like the DJ, and like the camaraderie and like the cheering when there's good music, and like, you know, the look across the dance floor when you just know like the bangers sick, and like it's like, oh, the goal was like like the love and passion people have for sport is very similar to the love people have for music.
I get it. If I had to be at the G on grand final day or at like the most incredible doof, I would find it's chalk and cheese. I'm picking the most incredible doof. Because that lasts for hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get the goal thing. It's true. I get the sports people, but like the party people.
Yeah.
That's a weekend.
Yeah.
That ain't like, you know, a 2 hour with 4 quarters, get a pie in the middle kind of session. That's a whole weekend. You come back different from that.
You do. And then can you imagine what happens when you then actually bring that version of you that you felt for those weekends and bring it into your everyday life? Because a big part of what I like I'm passionate about is helping people bridge this free, expressed, joyful version of themselves that they express at festivals every day.
That's so funny you say that, because I was 2 episodes ago I had Cheryl Saw on,
Okay.
and we were talking about her liberation story a little bit, like figuring out who she is, because a lot of her life and a big part of my life has been involved in corporate environments. And we're talking, I was saying to her, she's like, oh, why don't we feel okay just to be ourselves at work? And I was like, I'll tell you why. A little thing called HR.
Yeah.
A little thing called HR
Okay.
that says that you can't just roll on in and just, express yourself freely, because that's fraught with risk. You might accidentally Freudian slip. You might accidentally offend someone or say something that's not conducive to a professional environment. So you better rein that in, get in your little shell, because we've got things to achieve. And I understand the value of business and commerce and how society benefits from businesses and companies being productive, and how it enriches the society. I get it, but like there's a disconnect somewhere, because on the one hand I've got you telling me this. Imagine if we could bring that into our lives. I've got another person 2 episodes ago that's like, how can we be more of ourselves? And then there's me, who I am totally not corporate, but I've managed to, because of my critical thinking skills, I've managed to be accepted in that space, right?
Yeah.
But I'm rough around the edges for them. They don't know how to deal with someone like me. They just don't let me climb up too high up the ladder, right? Because I'm not PC, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just like, oh, there's something shit over there. We got to call it out. No, we can't call it out, because that person's been working on that for 20 years. Well, obviously not very passionately, not
Yeah.
with their heart and soul,
Yeah.
because they've done a pretty bad job. you know,
Whoops.
and they're out of here at 5 o'clock every day. So nothing about their behavior tells me that they've done it that passionately, that they really want to be here doing this, and that's okay. People have families and things like that. But like somewhere along the line, we need to come clean about the fact that these environments sanitize us.
Yeah.
And once we're okay to say that, we're okay to go, I've got to go this weekend, I'm going to go and get fucked up so that I can come back here and be who you need me to be,
Yeah.
instead of trying to deny it all. And then, on the weekend you go and do that, but you don't tell anyone. And then you hide it. You start to hide yourself. You start to hide yourself from them. You start to shame and hide yourself from others. And that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just went on a rant. That was numero uno, rant. I don't know how you feel about what I just said, but like honestly, there's a disconnect.
And that suppressing of our truth, and that kind of lying and the shame and all of that, they're like some of the most densest, heaviest emotions and frequencies. And when we're lying about anything, like a big part of my courses and my teachings is like the soul loves the truth, and like to have just radical honesty. It's like, even in the sense of like owning and being like, yeah, I work for a corporate and, it doesn't fulfill me 100%, but it's actually giving me the life that I want and I value. And I have my festival twice a year or something, whatever you want to rationalize it, but be honest and own it.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, now you're talking. And then, but because we just like want to deny that, like, I feel like is where the inner conflict and unhappiness comes from.
Yes, I understand. And then, well, we got to, it's like, I remember watching this movie when I was young. It was an action film called Demolition Man.
Okay.
Remember this one?
I don't know.
It was a futuristic film,
Okay.
a dystopian futuristic film where one part of society is really, really clean and very proper.
Okay.
And that's the police, and that's the police force. And then there's this subculture of people that live in the sewers. And what they do is they cryogenically freeze these two characters from the 90s, and they bring them out many, many years later. Let's just say 50 years later.
Okay.
Where society's completely changed. And the first one they unfreeze is the criminal. And what does the criminal go and do? Goes and starts behaving badly.
Okay.
And the next one they unfreeze is the police person that used to capture that criminal that they froze as well to be alive for when that. It's a weird storyline. It's a bizarre storyline. But there's a point where, like, Sylvester Stallone's character, the cop, is just like, why is everything so sanitized here?
Mm.
And then there's a bit sort of where like the underground people and like the above ground people sort of reconcile. It's like, maybe you need to get a little dirtier and you need to get a little cleaner, and then we'll find some common ground, and that's what I feel needs to happen in these worlds of work.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to be able to have these conversations, feel safe to have a conversation about, oh, gee, I went away on the weekend, I had the best time. And I really feel like, actually, to be honest, I feel like I've been escaping from some stuff that I don't think I ever dealt with before.
Yeah.
And be able to unpack that for like, 20 minutes, half hour in the tea room, and then just feel good about the fact that I got to do that, and then go, okay, now I better get back to them spreadsheets or whatever it is the hell you do.
100%.
And so you don't have to
Yeah.
walk around like this, and like, we all know that person. I don't know if you've ever worked in an office, but you take your glasses off, you're like, you spot each other from a mile away.
As in, like, you've been on it on the weekend.
Yeah.
I'll speak to this. Like, I never worked really for a corporate, but I did I was in an office working for a charity, a social enterprise, working with refugees. It was great. The bike project. If anyone's in London and needs to buy a bike or has an old bike, check out the bike project for sure. But I had this way of like not lying, where people would be like, what did you do on the weekend? And I would say everything I did. And I would just like take out the part where I've just been raving for like, I don't know how many hours, like 12 hours, but then I would include the kick-ons. So if the kick-ons, we were at the park in the sunshine or like hanging out with friends, I'd be like, yeah, and then on Sunday, just at the park, hanging out in the sunshine, with some friends, like, so just... But I honestly thought that if they really knew what I got up to, they would think I wouldn't be able to do my job as well. But then it got to a point where actually, like, I still was good at my job, but because I was partying so hard, I wasn't actually working as hard as I probably could have. So, that was one of the points where I was like, okay, like, I'm like really pushing this working from home thing, like, rolling out of bed right before a meeting, like,
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I mean, I was, getting up to too much fun, let's just put it, and then having to come to an office, and it was just obvious.
It was obvious for you.
Well, I could smell my breath sometimes.
Okay. Yeah.
I just couldn't hide it. I had to stop. I had to figure out a way to stop. I couldn't hide it anymore. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, you get to 30. 30 is a magical number. 40 is even worse.
Okay.
Yeah, believe me. I've tried to carry on this existence for as long as I can. It's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
It's like, mate, it's 40 now. It's like every decade, every birthday milestone, you double the effect of what the hangover was.
Yeah, true.
So you thought your hangover at 20 was bad? It's double that when you get to 30. Oh, wait till you get to 40. It's going to be double again. And that's life's way of going, mate. This is unsustainable. You can't do this.
In the way that you're doing it.
In the way, yes, this, as in the way I'm doing it, it's unsustainable.
Yeah, because I think this is like something I feel like heartbroken over, that people that love the music and love the community and love it all, and then go, oh, but I'm 30 now, I'm taking all these drugs. I've never known a version of party without them, so I'm just going to stop, and then I'm going to lose my creative expression. I'm going to lose all this connection, and then I'm just going to go into like the buying the house, doing the steps.
Having kids as well, that's like makes you have to be responsible, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Having kids
is definitely a part of it. Like,
it's like, okay, well, I've got to get out of bed because they're up at 6.
Hence why I'm like, I don't even, I'm really proud of myself when I get up and do like my morning routine, or like I clean the bathroom and I'm like, go Jess, like yes. And I'm like, how could I for another human? And do I want to make that sacrifice? Because like I've got a baby, which is sacred raving. Like I honestly, I just don't know if I
Well, that's
could.
an interesting one. I'll tell you what happens when you have a kid. Well, from my personal experience, you just kind of like this. It must be a chemical reaction,
Yeah.
and I can tell it's not the same for everyone else, but it's a chemical reaction in you that's like, oh, this is love, this is family. It's like
Yeah.
it's like ecstasy or something like that gives you this like euphoric. That just happens to you
Yeah.
for the most boring shit, like changing a nappy and getting out of bed in the morning. You're
Yeah.
like, because I see these guys now that I'm friends with, because I had my baby when I was 23,
Okay.
right? So now I'm 41, just turned 41, and all the dudes, that were off having a good time with their youth,
Mm-hmm.
are now going through what I went through back then, and
Okay.
I see this cluckiness, like, oh, I'm just so in love with my baby.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're It's just the chemicals, bro.
Yeah.
No one loves being woken up at 3 a.m. and then 4:30 a.m. and then 6 a.m. and,
It's
no
just
one
the
loves that. It's
chemical.
the chemicals.
Everyone loves those chemicals.
Yeah, we do. We love the drug of being in love. And
Yeah.
whether it's, with another person or
Mm.
our own one that we made kind
Yeah.
of thing. So trust me, I know you could get there if that ever happened in your life.
Yeah.
You'd get it.
I know I would. I'll see a kid on the street and I'm connected straight away. I'm very motherly and I connect very well to children, and I know I'd be an amazing mother. But I kind of made a little bit of a like, not pact with myself or anything, because life always changes, but around 27 years old, I was living in London, and it was like I kind of had in my head that, at 28, maybe I'd meet someone and then might have a kid maybe at 30, and it was getting to like 27 years old. And I'm like, I don't want to move home. Like, I don't see myself settling down in London. And I was like, I can't make changes to I don't want to make choices based on the hopes of meeting someone to have a baby.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And
That's
so
relatable.
I let go of any like attachment to I
Yeah.
need to have a baby. And I also realized that I could so easily adopt or foster, or because I've connected with so many children in short times when I've volunteered and things like that. And I'm like, I just want to live my life based on how I want to live it. And if kids come, they come, but I can be a mother in many ways.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. That's a beautiful thought, because you know what what popular media does? It just really glamorizes the traditional way of living to what your point was before, the checklist.
Yeah.
That by this age I need to do this, and even all of the contrary media around it. So then there's that way of living and the textbook version of it. Oh yeah, look. And Australia's very much like that.
Yeah.
And keeping up with the Joneses. But then there's like when people don't live that life, they're like, oh, poor Sylvia has to go and get IVF so they can. You know what I mean? Like, you're poor because you can't uphold to this standard, or because you're attached to that. Yeah, and the reason I was like reflecting on what you just said is because like you never hear someone, well, it's not never, you rarely hear someone have thought through it and be totally confident and I guess at peace with the decision that they've made to not be involved in the traditional glamorized maths life. I call it maths life, because literally all people do is they tick a box. Oh, 30, kid. Wow.
Yeah.
Spend the rest of my life watching maths every Wednesday night
Yeah.
on the couch.
Yeah.
It's like maths life. That's not for me. That's not what I want. It's great that you've had that thought and you were able to act on it. I was too young
Yeah.
to even get there. I had a kid and someone was thrust into my life. And but I've rejected maths life in many ways too. I guess I've tried my best.
Yeah.
But I'm interested again, like to go back to you and where did all this begin? Where did you grow up? You're an Aussie girl.
Well, I was born in London,
Oh, you were born in London.
but I was an accident. My mum and dad met at a nightclub in London where my mum
It
was
was meant to be.
I know, right? Conceived on ecstasy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having. We'll have to talk about this offline. Mine's 17 now.
Okay.
She's so funny.
You know, the love drug. And, you know, yeah, but my mum took me back to Australia when I was 18 months. So I very much identify with being an Aussie.
So she was the Aussie.
Yeah, she was the Aussie and my dad's British.
So, okay, and you know him and everything?
He lives in Hong Kong, but no, I know him. He was in mum and dad stayed together until I was about 15, though they should have broken up.
Yeah.
Like when my mum 18 months when I was 18 months, but and he now lives in Hong Kong. He has like a second like a new wife they've been together for a while, and I have all these like Filipino like step sisters and brothers that I couldn't really call them that because I don't even know them. Like I don't actually even know their name, but technically they're there. And my mum, she lives in at the moment Gili Trawangan. In Indonesia, near Bali.
Okay.
But we don't say Bali because it's not Bali, it's Gili Tea.
It's Gili Tea. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, for everyone listening, no judgment.
People are like, how's Bali? I'm like, we're not in Bali.
Yeah, better than that. We're better than that. Okay, cool. And then, so you came back here when you were a year and a half, and you grew up here.
Yeah.
And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Brighton.
What?
Yeah.
Like as in?
Like Brighton. Like Karen from Brighton. Yeah, I grew up there.
Beautiful.
And areas around there, but we moved around a lot because, like, you know, we were renting, and then dad made an investment. We lost the house. We moved around. I'm always been used to having a million homes.
Right.
So traveling and nomadic life was kind of like that. Chaos is very like
that's good.
Familiar for me.
I think that's good.
It is
in
good.
In a way.
Oh, it actually made me like definitely like part of who I am today, like because I'm used to like travel and moving around a lot. But growing up in that area was challenging, I would say.
Because I'm trying to make the connection. Brighton and raving. They're not really synonymous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Something happened. You met someone. You went somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was always kind of a party gal in the sense that like I, was drinking a lot, like when I was in my teens, and like, dad picking me up from the party, basically crawling out the door at 15, like hectic drinking stuff.
Relatable.
Yeah. And then like, I don't know, like always been adventurous, a little bit rebellious, and, had partied a little bit, but was going very much to like the commercial clubs and drinking a lot. It was just very drinky for a while. But then at like 21, I went traveling, and that completely changed. Well, I did at 18 as well, but the 21-year-old trip was the life-changing.
You look young, by the way. You got good skin.
Oh, thank you.
How old are you now?
I'm 33.
Okay. So that was 12 years ago. I'm just doing the maths. Oh, okay.
15 years. 21, yeah.
2013. Okay.
2013, yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. Oh, it was a good time in the world too. Back then, we were loose. We were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pre-pandemic.
I mean,
Pre-pandemic
I was loose
people were
in
like,
pandemic as well,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Pre-pandemic people partied.
Yeah.
Things have changed since then. You could probably tell us more about that later, but okay. So you started traveling. That's it. Man, what a life.
Yeah, I mean, like I had like a 2-month trip planned with my girlfriends. There was like 5 of us that we went to South America over like the summer break, and like everything was planned. Like we were doing ridiculous plane trips from Peru to Bolivia, and like it took so long when we could have just caught the overnight bus, but like that was too dangerous, you know, and like we had to have three girls in the taxi at a minimum and every time. And
You don't want it. Yeah. In hindsight, you know, but like for a couple, I'm just going to put it this way, for a couple of Brighton girls, you know, that have, you know, have only ever travelled to Phillip Island, and then, you know, they're going to these countries that have got reputations, you know, and Marching Powder was a huge book in the early 2000s.
yeah, I loved reading it. That was when it came out. Like
Yeah.
I was so close to having an experience like that, but anyway.
You know, and it's like, yeah, of course, let's take the safe route. And then you get there and you're like, actually, people here are normal and seems, you know, not as dangerous. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But my soul was never aligned with their that was like I you know, got on a plane when I was like 1 years old. I went to Fiji without my parents when I was 5 with my family, my grandpa and stuff, but still I was like 4 or 5.
You had this independence that you built.
Yes, I went on like ski trips by myself with all these different schools. I didn't know anyone at 8, hadn't even learnt how to ski, and I went on a ski competition, which was the most scary thing ever. Like,
It's like you were thrust into independence.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
That's interesting.
That's a starting. That was kind of like it's always been in me.
And then what? And then we're in South America, and then what happens?
We were in South America, and I like was in Rio, and I like met a boy on the stairs.
You were in Rio, which means you were in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
Brazilian guys.
Well, actually, he was British on his gap
Oh,
year,
is he?
19, in the hostel, you know.
Didn't have to mention he was British. Could have gone with my Brazil fantasy.
Well, I mean,
You know.
yeah, it was more of a hostel thing.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, what are you doing tonight? All my friends like were going to bed, and I was like wanting to like, you know, party. And I'm like, and ended up like hanging out with him. One day later, said to my girlfriends, guys, I'm going to go off with this guy I met and his friends. They're going to this like secret beach town in Brazil. Not many people know about it. I want to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me that brochure.
Yeah. Trinidad.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to a secret beach in Brazil.
Right?
Yeah. Hello. Sign me up. What did they say?
Well, they were like kind of like, all right. And I'm like, I'll be back on Friday. Like, I'll be back on Friday.
Which day was it?
It was a Monday.
Oh, I'll be back on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's risky.
I know.
Right.
I know. I'll be back on Friday.
But I'm a parent now, see? This is dad brain talking.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mum got involved in this. And yeah, I'll be back on Friday. And then I didn't see them for like over a year.
They left?
I said bye. See you on
See you
Friday.
on Friday, and you never came back.
And I never joined them again, and I didn't get on my flight home.
But
And
did they know that you weren't coming back on Friday? Did you at least call the hostel and go, "Hey, see the little Aussie white girls from Brighton? Tell them I ain't coming back." Hang up the.
they were pissed.
Like I remember you used to hang up a phone like physically.
Yeah.
We can't do that now. It's just pressing a button passive aggressively.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we used to smash down the phone and go, "Grr!" You didn't do that?
No, I don't even really remember. I must have sent them a message or something, but I've always liked to do things my way. So I probably was a bit more like, this is what I'm doing and not worrying about them freaking out about me.
That's fair enough. It's cool.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Cool. And so what? You just took off with this guy?
Well, and his group of friends. So the guy was pivotal in my story, but like one of my first loves, but it was the friendship group. Like they all, 7 guys, 19, 18-year-old backpackers, adventurous boys, like they did all the fun things. We didn't know where we were going. We just like figure things out along the way, go cliff jumping, go skydiving, like the way I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
And like I went and they accepted me and they loved me. And after going through like all this like kind of, I don't know, low-key bullying from my friends and a lot of horrible behavior with guys and things like that, I was in this group where I had no makeup, curly hair, and I was like, I had none of the labels that people had judged me from growing up. And they just like, they loved me and I loved them, and it helped me learn to love myself for the first time and be free. And so it's really life changing.
Oh, that's such a, that's really touching to hear,
Yeah.
because I think deep down we all hope to get to meet those people. That tribe, is like they called it back in the early 2000s. They probably still call it that now. Where you don't have to put on a mask to walk out the door to appease them.
Exactly.
Especially for girls, there's here in the West, in Australia, especially, the more high society you live, Brighton,
Yes.
there's probably more convention like that. There's more conventions, more need to have your hair straightened and like wear these kinds of lashes or whatever it is. If you don't have, this, or you're not wearing that brand or whatever, you know what? It's just and it's layered. You start at school young. And it starts with the lunchbox. Oh, well, you got that lunchbox. And then by the time you finish high school, you got like layers and layers and layers and layers of convention that you don't even know how to separate yourself anymore from this person that you've been designed to be. And then you get to experience that feeling with those people. Well, yeah. No wonder you didn't come back for a year.
I know, right?
I get it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I think I have found that version.
Yeah.
I just didn't last, and it came with behaviors I also wanted to break free of
Okay.
as well. Like I found the people that definitely loved me, but it came with a lot of alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys get me and I get you, and we have a lot of good time, but I can't continue to live like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying I can relate to that feeling of finally walking into that room, and it's just like, didn't have to, not that I have to straighten my hair, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, I mean, just growing up in that world, I feel for my parents that had so much stress, in money stress, on like trying to live up to this lifestyle that we couldn't really afford. And I think just like going away from that, and because I never felt truly myself and supported and like felt aligned with that group of people, although there are some like exceptions where I had nice connections. But there was just like a lot of pressures to I was straightening my hair when I was like, dyeing my hair when I was young, like doing like juice cleansers at 15 to try and like look a certain way, like, and all of the things that it was just, it's my journey, so there's no blame or anything like that. But just like all this, like you have to mold and be different to be accepted and loved, kind of thing. Like you're not just perfect just the way you are, is kind of the message. But
sorry, what?
I was just gonna say, like, my
I
mum.
wasn't going to talk. I was just.
My mum. She just like she said something to me, and I said, because I told her, I was like, Mum, when I like say I'm from Melbourne, I'm like, I don't really normally say I'm from Brighton. And she's like, Jessica, she's like, people need to know that there's good people out there that come from Brighton. And and I'm like, do you know what? It's true. Like, we live in Brighton because like my there's generations of it.
Yeah.
It's so,
Yeah, you're going to have to sell me a little harder, but I get it. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I was just thinking there, you've got this beautiful reflection of sun that's bouncing off a building, and it's hitting you right in the face right now. And just as you're telling that story of liberation, this beautiful sunlight sort of just has sort of engulfed you. And I'm like, wow, so much symbolism happens when I'm recording with people here. And that's a moment where it's really nice to hear. That's really nice to hear. So you've gone traveling with this group of people, and what an adventure.
Yeah, we went from Chile to Mexico.
How?
Buses, some boats.
Incredible. Over a year.
Well, actually, it was over 7 months, and then I moved to Bristol for the last 7 months of my time.
From?
That's where the boy was from. And that is where I found my raver.
Oh,
And everything changed, really.
the only festival I know is Glastonbury Festival.
Yeah, I'd love to go one day. Haven't
Yeah,
been.
No. Okay, so that's where you were introduced to that life. UK
Yeah.
parties are different.
Yeah. Yeah, they were different. And like I was
You
like,
had a passport too.
I had a passport. I rocked up to Bristol with 200 Aussie bucks to my name. I
Nice.
moved to a new country with 200 Aussie dollars.
Love that. I love those people. I love those people that tell me stuff like that because I'm like, I wish I got to tell that story. Because it's when someone tells you, hey, I'm going to move here and I've only got 200 bucks to my name, you're worried for them. But I get to speak to you afterwards, so I
Yeah.
know you're okay.
I made it.
I know everything turned out fine.
Yeah.
And for most people, it does.
It does.
Huh.
You just got to trust.
But you
and
had this guy as well. And
I painted his parents' fence, gave me 70 quid, so that helped.
nice.
I got a job.
This is so good.
Yeah, I had a bit of support for like home and eating and things like that. But like then I couldn't stay there. I had to that was in the countryside in Somerset. And so I did have to be my independent self and go to
Sure.
Bristol and kind of set my life up there. My first paycheck was good, but I was living off the reduced section and whatever was there in the supermarket, for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. But you were living with the guy, right?
No, so he was there at uni, first year uni.
So why'd you move there? You moved there to be with him,
Yes.
but you had to find your own
Yeah.
place. You didn't want to live with him.
Well, he was in halls anyway, so
Oh,
he
okay.
wouldn't have been able to.
I understand now.
But even so, like if anyone is planning to move countries with someone, and I think at a younger age, or you move to a country for someone else, like I'm going to Bristol, it is so important to go and establish your own life away from the
100%.
boyfriend or the girlfriend, because otherwise it's just not going to be healthy.
Oh, yeah. And I'm talking like as a 37-year-old. That's what happened.
Yeah.
We broke up in the first week. It was over. I was out.
Where did you
gone.
move to?
Ireland, yeah.
Ireland.
I can't. I don't know how to
No,
say.
you said it. You said it like the proper.
She used to give me crap for this because she's Irish. She
Okay.
used to give me shit for the way I say Ireland. She's like, it's not Ireland. I was like, well, how do you say it? She's like, Ireland. And I was like, but I can't say it without the R because I don't know how. There's an R in there and I have to say it. Anyway, yeah. Ireland. Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then moved in with her. And that was never the plan to stay, but just, with her mum and sister.
Hectic.
It was just like, ooh, and now their daughter's come home for her daughter, because dad and the brother, the men seem to have left and gone very far away.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I learnt why really quickly. But yeah, it's very related. It's very true. And if anyone listening to this, if you're younger as well, and you're like, oh yeah, but I've met the guy and our plan is to be together. It's like, well, yeah, sure, but not be attached to one another. You're not Siamese twins. You got to go and figure your own stuff out, and that involves setting boundaries that you probably had never set before.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have set them on your trip because you're probably bunking together on the hostels or whatever on the way up to Mexico.
Yeah.
You hadn't set them, and you're getting close as well. But now life begins. It's very mature.
Well, I would say that was still a learning for me. Was my life still was very much for him because I knew I had to leave after 7 months. So it was like, oh, we've got to make most of the time together, like be together all the time. And so I say that as well as a lesson. Like, yes, I had my own place and things like that. But my lesson was I put so much energy into him when I could have been doing more to myself. And that put pressure on our relationship.
Well, no, you're taking me back. I understand that way of thinking for sure. And it's a rock and a hard place because you don't know what the right thing to do is, but the right thing to do feels like spending more time together. Hello, because it's got to end at some point.
Yeah, and there's attachment, like you said, that word. It's like we become attached, and it feels like a drug as well. Like so.
So now you're in Bristol and you've set yourself up. Then what?
Well, so I always kind of knew I had to go back and finish my degree.
Where? Who? What?
Well, I did. I was studying, so I deferred as well. Like when I said, bye, I'm not getting on my flight home, I also had to defer uni for a year because I was meant to. So I've got a degree in health sciences.
Right, okay.
I went back and finished my degree after that. I got dumped like very shortly after returning to Melbourne. Like I was so sure that like this guy was going to be like my forever. Like, I was like, I'm moving back to England. I'll, do whatever to be with him. And like, I know he loved me a lot as well, but he was wise and he ended it because it wasn't healthy, right?
For sure.
Long distance. He's like, I'm too young for this. And I'm like, yeah, we're too young for this. Like, this is hectic.
1,000,000%. I'm 41. I'm still too young for that.
Yeah. There's like.
Amen. You're still, that bloke over there is still too young for it.
Yeah.
We're all too young for it.
For what?
Long distance.
Long distance. Yeah.
We're all too young for it.
It's not really I would do it. Like if there was like if it was a short amount of time, like there are exceptions for me. I'm sure I would do it, but in general, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. There's short periods of time. Yeah. No way. Yeah. Well, and then you came back to study, and by now you've come back and you're a proper raver.
Yeah. I am a proper raver, and one of the best things was I was like, oh my God, I can just go out in my sneakers and like t-shirt and jeans, because back in Chasers in Chapel Street, I'd wear my tight little dresses, high heels. Yeah, Chasers was my warehouse, it was called. That was like, woo, with a vodka double black, tight dress, high heels was my vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
I reckon we would have crossed paths on Chaps at some point.
Probably. I mean, I was there for years.
Yeah, same. So funny. Although, yeah, on our way to different venues.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure. I think I spent a lot of time on Chapel Street. Chapel Street is part of who I am. It's part of my story. Yeah.
What venue?
I got a job My first job on Chaps was at Revolver. But I didn't last long because they needed someone who could work weekdays as well till 5 a.m.
Okay.
And I was not in a position to do that. So I ended up getting a gig at 161 and I spent 2 years there. Met my daughter's mum there. And then I worked at Trist and Hoo-Ha and a couple of these other institutions. Trist wasn't back in. I'm talking 2007.
Okay, I don't.
2006 and 7. I was at this place. Oh, it's the one behind Bridie O'Reilly's.
Okay.
It's like a church. House.
True. Cool.
This joint was like popping back in the day.
Okay.
And it was just such a vibe back then, and that's from the age of 20 to the age of 23. And then I've got a kid. Like those are very formative years of my life. Learning about stuff like drugs and nightclubs. I mean, I'm working in a nightclub till midday.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, 1 p.m. You know, and then the life that starts to build around you is like, well, now my mates don't invite me to my schoolmates don't invite me to birthdays anymore because I'm always saying no because I'm always working at the club.
Yeah.
So those messages dry up. You don't get those messages anymore. They're gone. Now your new mates are your hospo mates.
Yeah.
And what do they like to do? Well, they're working with you, right? And well, on a Sunday when we finish work, we don't go home and sleep. We go to Revs.
Yeah.
And then I go home to sleep, and then I meet them at the Saint in Secure afterwards. But they haven't gone home to sleep. They've gone home to do stuff that they like to do to get ready. Because we got to go to the Saint, and then after the Saint, we got to go to Mink, and after Mink, we got to go to Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba.
And we're going to walk out of Cuba at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's what we're going to do. Well, I'll admit I was the hardest partier because I didn't take drugs. and I could just drink the entire time, and I was the one that was always just last to leave. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm having a good time. I'm walking out when either you're all gone, and like I'm going to be the last one here. I don't want to be here on my own, or I'm going to walk out when they kick us out. If you're going to be here with me, you know, it's like hello.
Yeah.
And that's how I sort of grew up. So I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
You're back, and now you're on Chapel Street.
Yeah, and to be honest, so before like my trip, I was more the warehouse, like the chasers and drinking clubs and things like that. But then after I got back, I got my breakup. I started working a hospo job. Of course, my clubs start changing. I'm now at Revolver and Pawn and Co on a Sunday, and
Pawn
things
and
all
Co.
change
Is that
a
still
lot.
kicking off?
Actually, I think it is
I need to
maybe.
go. Can you
Yeah.
take me there sometime?
I mean, I don't really want to go there.
Or can you take me somewhere?
I'll take you somewhere, but
Yeah.
it won't be Pawn and Co.
Or can you take me somewhere? All those friends have had babies and stuff now.
Yeah.
They're gone. Look, they're internationals. It's crazy how the people just split up, hey. But I still love the vibes. I still love going in there and just, the music. How
Yeah.
good is it?
If it's the music for
It's
me.
the music for me too.
Like if I don't really like to be places I can't really connect with.
Who's doing the good music these days?
I don't really like have venues
Anymore?
like
Nah, they're
on
out.
a, like there's my relationship to partying is very different.
Yeah.
And especially because like I'll pick and choose a lot, like, and I'll go to festivals more. But I know I have a lot of friends in the industry that run like more community, smaller events, like, you know, local talent. And there's so much local talent as well in Melbourne. And so I guess I would go to more of those events. And then running my own event has kind of come from me feeling like there was something missing in the scene as well. So I don't party all the time.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't assume that you did, but I thought maybe there was a good place that people now know that they could go and get their fix if they just need it on a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, without having to plan ahead
Sub
too
Club.
far. Sub
I
Club?
heard I haven't been, but I've heard really good things about
Where is
Sub
it?
Club
Where
in
is
the city somewhere.
Is it? Sub Club. I'm coming at you.
My cousin the other
Yeah.
weekend,
Younger?
I was like
Young
so
cousin?
proud. Yeah, I'm the oldest. He's 18, the youngest, and he rang me up on a Sunday and he was like, "Hey Jess, I want to go out. Like, can you recommend me some clubs on Chapel Street?" And I was like, "Oh my God, thank you. Like, that is an honor." He's like, "You know, because you said you're a cool cousin, right?" Like teasing me. But I really actually didn't even know where to recommend him. And then I'm like, "Well, do you want like techno or do you want?" He's like, "Oh, more pop." I'm like, "Bro, I can't help you there."
As if. Do those places exist?
Yeah, of course
If they do,
exist.
If they do, I haven't been.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah. It's funny because like you get so involved in that scene, you forget what normal people are doing. You know, like the 9-to-5ers where they party.
Yeah.
You just become distant, and when you come back, it's I'm using the word come back. So what happened? I moved to Queensland to have my kid, and I'm there for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
I've come back, and I tried my hardest not to party. I did. But it's they're the communities that I knew. Like at some point, I could walk down Chapel Street, and literally I couldn't go 30 meters without people waving at me, or saying out my name. From the other side of the street, even. I'm not sitting here to say I was a big deal, but like for context, I lived just off Chapel. I went to uni just next to Lucky Cock. On the corner of High and Chapel. I worked.
I was living near there.
I worked on the other opposite corner
Yeah.
of High and Chapel.
161. Yeah.
And you know, the bars in between High and Commercial Road were our frequent haunts, you know, and then some of the ones up beyond towards the Windsor end. Like I just lived there, you know. I was, and you know, I worked at the most popular nightclub on Chapel Street, you know, for 2 years. So you know, kind of clientele that are going in there, they're happy to see you.
Yeah.
So it's like you come back from 2 years away, and right, what are my friends doing here? You know, this and that. It's the people that like are spotting you on the street the ones that you used to party with, the ones that are coming up to you and hugging you and saying hi. Of course. Didn't want to party. I'm a dad now. I need to get my life together because I just been separated. But like slowly, like I started to get drawn back in.
Yeah.
Because now I've got someone that wants to spend time with me. Now, for 2 years, cradling a baby, feeding her, the phone's not ringing.
Yeah.
I've got postnatal depression kind of thing because like my friends are gone and no one's calling. And now I'm here alone with the baby. And it's like, not to say woe is me, it's just like the first party animal that wants to shoot me a text and say, meet me here at 9 o'clock. I'm coming.
Of course.
Bet you I'm coming. After that. So, and
Yeah.
then the slippery slope began.
Yeah.
That lasted about the best part of 10 years. Yeah. And then the probably the last 6 years has been just trying to shake it loose.
Yeah.
Just slowly shake it loose so I can figure out who I am again. Who am I? Who which boy would I have become if I didn't discover that scene? Who's that guy? And I'm like, well, you're never going to find that guy because he's not. It's not possible to find him. You are a product of your history in a way, but it's possible to find some version of virtue and love and joy that exists outside of that scene.
Yeah.
And that's who you can find.
Yeah.
But you'll never be able to walk the road as if you never lived it. It's impossible. Because I love it so much.
But also, like, I don't think you were ever meant to. Like, I feel like I just trust that, like, the path that you went on is your path. And, like, your soul has got you here now. And, you could say, like, there's different parts of ourselves, right? It's like who's driving your bus kind of thing. Like, there are all these passengers that you can navigate life with, and all of those are us. Like, the one that likes to party, the one that also maybe doesn't. Like, so
I really like that analogy.
Yeah, someone told me recently, like, who's driving your bus, like, and because sometimes I'm like, it's my like inner like stoner girl, or sometimes it's my priestess or goddess or whatever.
Yes. That's such a good analogy because it creates separation, and it just helps with the shame. I guess shame's a strong one, but it's like, that's not me. That was party me that was driving the bus that night. There's good, kind-hearted, responsible me, the one that likes to walk old ladies across the street.
Yeah.
That also belongs in that bus. He's in that bus too. They're not the same driver. They're different drivers.
Yeah.
It's okay for them to coexist as long as I understand that that's one and he's okay and that's the other one and there's those other ones too.
It's interesting as you say this because it's like, well, why can't we be both? Like, why? And like, we can be the generous person that's helps someone across the road and be loving and caring, and we can do that as a party person, as someone that's in the scene.
Really? All right, lady, take my hand. So I'm being too literal now. I do joke around a lot.
No, joke around. No, I mean, but you're joking because you're like, oh, that's not. I don't know how I could do that. This balance, it's easier to joke about it because I can't see the reality.
I'm not good about it. Maybe I am, but I can just imagine a party person. No, you're right. You're right. It's possible for that to be the same. Well, it is the same person. It is.
And like, there's nothing like.
It's just nice to be able to separate them like the bus drivers. It's a nice analogy to be able to reflect.
Of course.
On that's all. So yeah, we're going places. I just realised that you brought us something. What did you bring us? Did you bring sushi? Oh, please.
I did, but so basically, like, whenever I go, so living overseas for like 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. One thing I totally missed was like the sushi in Australia.
We got the best, and you grew up in Melbourne, or we got the best culinary scene.
Don't you judge
here.
me.
I'm not. I just love it. I'm not judging. I'm teasing. Because the opportunity's there to tease. But we've got the best culinary scene here. Of
We do
course.
have it very good.
You don't realise that till you leave.
Yeah, Melbourne has amazing options for takeaway, especially living in Chapel Street, right? Uber Eats, they've got everything.
Literally. Well, I was living on Chaps before Uber Eats was even
Yeah,
before
true.
Uber was even a thing. And there's nothing you can't get at pretty much any time of day almost,
Yeah.
isn't it? So, well, thank you for.
So I basically, when I came back and like Sushi Hub, I was like amazed. Like Sushi Hub has so many different options, like, you know, and so I kind of got a little assortment of like
You did?
little small ones.
Oh,
I don't
love
know if
those.
you
They're
like-
called sashimi things.
Oh no, like
yes,
these.
Yes, I love those
Nigiri.
nigiris and.
The nigiri.
Oh, I love those. Oh, I was at Sushi Train the other day. Oh, beautiful.
Like, do you want one?
I'd love one. Of course I
yeah.
do.
Like
I-
now or
yeah,
later?
Let's do it. Why not?
Oh.
I eat on the podcast.
Yeah, you take.
You know what I'm going to do?
But do you like seafood though? I
Love
wasn't sure.
seafood.
Okay, I had to get one veggie one, just like.
Oh, no, I'm going to try and break this, but I'm going to butcher it. So, why don't you sing a song for the people listening right now? Well,
Sing a song. But like
Distract
seriously, like something to be grateful for is good sushi in Melbourne
oh my goodness!
and
Right.
affordable.
You have the plate that I didn't kill.
Oh, okay. I see what you were trying to do.
Yes. 1. Oh my goodness. 2. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, so that you
Yeah,
don't have
very kind.
to. No, you're
um,
too kind. So, I'll tell you about the food thing, Rob.
Yeah.
I was a bit hungover one day actually,
Okay.
and I came here with to interview a guest, Ethiopian comedian Joe White,
Okay.
and I was like, I'm going to need some food.
Cheers.
Oh yes, how good is that? Thank you, Sushi Hub. Thank you, Jess. Very kind. And so I had this guy on, and I bought pies, but I completely forgot about the pies. They
Okay.
were in my bag, and in this bag. And then halfway through I remembered the pies. I was like, "Oh, mate, I've got you a pie." He's like, "Really?"
Like a meat pie.
Yeah, like from 7-Eleven.
Oh, proper.
Yeah, it's hangover food.
Yeah.
And I bought them for me, but I'd always wanted to just do this thing where I shared some food with someone. So I thought, oh, this is a good excuse because I'm hungover and I got this Ethiopian guy coming, and he's pretty Aussie because he's been here a long time. But wouldn't it be funny if like a Venezuelan immigrant and an Ethiopian immigrant were eating meat pies in a laneway in Melbourne? Yeah. I'm going to do this. And then, please stuff your face. People don't mind watching us or listening to us eat.
I mean, it's like definitely.
It's fishy. We needed chopsticks. You're right.
I've got chopsticks.
Oh, you do?
But
Oh,
I actually didn't know if you'd want them or not.
Oh,
Jump-
yeah,
I'll open them up.
absolutely.
I wasn't really going to use them. But to be honest, eating on camera is like, you know, a bit of an edge for me. So I just thought I'd put it out there that we all have to lean into our edges in life.
Sure. Eating on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, please. You're talking
So-
to a pro here.
Because
Because that was episode
I'm in
49.
safe hands.
Yeah, that was episode 49 with Joe White, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And we ate the pies, and oh gosh, that looks good.
Mm.
And we had a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that happened was, he goes, "Oh, yeah, this is way better than what I used to eat in Ethiopia." And then he breaks out into a story about how he used to mix dirt and water in a hole in the ground and just eat it.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking, there's no way we would have got this story if it wasn't for the pies.
Mm.
And then I brought food to another app, and then I was starting to sort of teeter into it. And then for 2025, I set these goals, and I was like, no, the food thing is a thing. I'm going to make it a thing, but instead of me bringing food, because it's going to be predictable, it's going to be pies from 7-Eleven because I'm rushing here with equipment, or it's going to be like this really great patisserie down there that does these chocolate croissants. It's going to be the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask my guests to bring food, and there's likely to be a story. And honestly, it's been my favorite part of the podcast because of the stories.
Yeah. It's funny because when you first asked, I was like, oh my God, perfect. I'm going to go to Sushi Hub. It's my tradition when I'm in the city to go to Sushi Hub and get some sushi and bring it here. But then I actually kind of pivoted a bit yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'd really love to bring something that is from like Arabic culture, like some like pita and hummus and things like that, because that was a big part of my journey is with working with refugees. And there's a lot of like, I don't know, it's just big part of my story is that. And so I thought I could bring that to symbolize, but I don't know, I couldn't figure out there was only like kebab shops around the area, and I'm like, I wanted some actual like some nice pita and hummus, but I went back to the original instead.
You know what? You would have been in luck today.
Mm-hmm.
There's a festival happening at Fed Square, just down the hill there. And I went to the toilet before between Mading and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's literally a kebab and Arabic stand, like a food truck
Really?
there.
I could have got some falafels or something.
I had no idea that was going to be there. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it. But my planning is really poor. I don't know when there's going to be like protests or festivals or whatever stuff on. Even this, like I had to tell these guys, can you move back the truck up a little bit? And they were like, oh yeah, we know you. We've seen your podcast. Of course. What do you need us to do? I was like, really? That's cool. That's a royal treatment. It's like I'm a chaps again. Hosier Lane's become my new Chapel Street.
You found purpose in another adventure. And I think like the thing about our scene is it does offer so much, like the electronic music scene is so much community and connection. And I think that is why I fell in love with myself and music, and I found belonging for the first time in my life through that scene. And so, and then like I expressed my soul through music and dance and clothing like you, and now you're expressing your soul through your art and the podcast. So it is like a different versions of us and different chapters of our lives. Hey, it got you here.
No, it's really great. It's really relatable. I'm enjoying listening to you unpack it a little bit because you got a great perspective on things. Please eat. I'll just talk for a little bit.
Yeah, I think like one of my my biggest things, because we've mentioned the word shame a bit, and I almost can feel there's still this sense of like shame, as you say, like, oh, I went back to party and things like that. And am I feeling that right?
I haven't gone to therapy for it, so it's clearly still around.
Yeah, and a lot of people have it.
I mean, I've done enough inner work to be able to open up that it exists, right? And that's a lot of inner work that you've got to do to get there.
Yeah, 100%.
But I've built the awareness. I don't know if I'm ever going to fully be relieved of the emotions or the feelings associated with it. I don't know if I'll ever get there. It's probably possible.
Yeah.
But in my journey, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to expand on that a little bit, I mean, the reason that there's kind of shame associated is because I came back to partying once I had a little one.
Yeah.
That was now missing her dad.
Yeah.
And that's been a really tough thing for me to reconcile with. I'm not welcome back there where she grew up.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm desired back there. I made the move back here because I knew the city. I knew I could get work here easily. That was the only reason I moved back. Well, a little sure I did miss wearing pants and shoes. I mean, Queensland's, it's not fashion conducive, isn't it? Is it? But I mean, it was a GFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone that lived through the GFC, they'll know that it was a challenging time.
Mm-hmm.
And up there, it was honestly, and I can put the camera on me for a little bit, so don't worry, I can cut if you're worried about.
It's fine.
Good.
But I'm always like, me
too.
I have food on my face? Do I have it on my ring?
I literally wanted to start a food YouTube thing called All Over My Face because that's how I eat. Honestly, I've probably got some right now. I can feel some right now on this cheek. And so yeah, and look, I even opened up to my kid the other day. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I feel a bit shit because we talk on the phone a lot. And we have for pretty much had a very, very regular phone contact
Cool.
the entire time she's grown up, quote unquote, without me physically there.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day I sort of opened up and I was like, yeah, sometimes I feel like I can't believe I've missed your whole life. And she's like, oh, you don't have to put it like that. Like, giving me permission to stop beating myself up about it, in a way.
To
And
forgive yourself.
yeah, and it's like, it's not like I was doing anything good here. I was getting fucked up. You know what I mean? So I didn't move to Africa and join a mission and save people's lives and rescue orphans. I know I came here to try and make money, sure, and reestablish myself and build some confidence. But I ended up digging a hole. Like I dug a big, dirty, great big hole for myself. Financially, spiritually, emotionally, by getting deeper and deeper into, facets of life that in an unsustainable way. And there's just lingering kind of like, you had an opportunity and you blew it. But I understand why. I didn't have any support. I didn't have any emotional support, really physical support. I had to figure all this shit out on my own.
Yeah.
And that's tough for people. That's why we need tribes and communities, and the breakdown of the family unit sucks. The Italians I've got these beautiful Italian friends. It's really interesting when I met these Italians, and that culture seems to have come back to Australia as well. You may have seen the film Alibrandi.
No.
Alibrandi. Have you heard that movie?
No.
Something with Alibrandi. And
Oh, okay.
it was a book that was then adapted into a brilliant Australian film. Brilliant book, brilliant film.
Missed it.
And she's Italian. And the joke at the start is that all the nonnas are on the phone to each other as she's walking down this street in Sydney. Josie, looking for Alibrandi, that's her name. And Josie's walking down the street after school, and she's looked in the windows of all these houses, and all these nonnas are looking at her while they're on the phone. And so it's really interesting, that culture, because the Italians will tell you, I just want to get away from my family, because all they do is like, I can't do anything in my life without, like, as soon as the dirty deed is done, like, Nonna knows about it. Yeah. Someone's told her.
Yeah, that would be challenging.
That would be challenging. But then you come to Australia and you're like, oh, cool, we've got this independent kind of, and it's glamorized in this independence. Let's break away from the family, the empty nest and the kids moving out and everyone. But then eventually you find yourself alone, not knowing who to talk to about. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying, like, they both come with their challenges. And part of the challenges of the Western, culture is that we are alone. We move out of home and we start paying our own bills, and that's great. Independence is great. But also emotional independence is required, and you aren't ready yet for that. You didn't get that training manual. You got sent to an industrial revolution school where they taught you how to do maths and English so that you could go to war. Right? And our education system is like that. No one told you how to open up and express yourself without getting fucked up.
Exactly. Well, exactly that.
Well, we got there. It only took us an hour and 23 minutes, and finally we got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. So I don't beat myself up because of my own failures, but I beat myself up in a small way for the opportunities that I missed. But I understand how the context of the society that I live in played a part in me, and my lack of education in that space played a part in me making the choices that I did.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because it's not like relieving myself of like the responsibility or the blame, whichever you call it, but it is acknowledging like there's bigger things at play here.
Yeah.
Communities aren't as accessible, and that's what I love about what you're doing, because you're trying to build a community of where this can exist, be another safe space other than maybe the family unit for some people is a great space. You're building another great space where you
Yeah.
can come and be yourself, but not feel under pressure to be like, because it is pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, and like definitely like there's all these pressures to like dance a certain way, even at like a festival or a club, like look a certain way, dance a certain way, like people, you get so caught in your head about like
What about the fact that a key, like, you just turn around and suddenly there's a key in your face
a key. Oh yeah, okay.
with a little
Yeah.
bump of powder?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Key in
Like,
your face.
like, they're just,
People don't know how to say no.
people don't know how to not ask, do you want some?
Yeah, but that's how people in our scene share love, is they share things, party
Without- right,
favors.
okay.
And so it is a way
Party
that you
favours.
connect. And so now I like to share, like, offer someone a flow toy or a lollipop, or tell someone like that, like I love their vibe or their outfit. Like on the weekend, this one boy, I was at a festival and he was like just radiating amazing energy the whole weekend. Every time I saw him, and I was just watching him and his friends because it just brought me joy to see how silly they were and how expressive they were. And then I saw him once and I told him, and he was like, thank you so much for actually telling me this, like, sharing that I created a positive influence on your festival. And he was like taken aback that I would say these words, but that's how I like to now give more love. I offer less of this keys and I give in different ways.
Less powders, more. I'm trying to make a rhyme for it. More compliments.
Yeah.
Less condiments, more compliments. No, that's great. That's good. And what's the name of, like, so for everyone listening? So what are the parties that you've started? It's been
Yeah.
such a great conversation, actually, where you've taken us on this journey of how Jess came to be a raver. I'm still missing some bits around what happened after uni, but really I kind of feel like it's just the love for the scene started in Bristol and you've carried it over here.
And I think what is the key part is, though, I identified so much of my worth, though, with being involved in this community and being this always up for fun party girl that people stop me in the street and want to give me a hug. Like you said, the Chapel Street, like I was getting connection, love, and accepted as this version of me. And I was so identified in this identity that I had as a party person. But it was not serving me because of all these lists of negative side effects that was happening. But like at the start, you said, what's the core to my story? The core of it is my love for it, the music. So it's like, well, I have to find a way to find balance. And also my love of music and dance is actually a tool for me at my growth. Because like, if I can say no to a key on the dance floor, if I can listen to my body when I'm tired, if I can express myself sober in front of people and dance wild and free, like imagine how I can show up in my life off the dance floor.
I couldn't even imagine. I don't even know if I could say no to that key.
You could.
I mean, I could. I wouldn't want to. There's a part of me, maybe it's because I don't do it regularly anymore. And my way of dealing with it has just been withdrawing, because instead of just being like, no, setting boundaries,
Yeah.
the withdrawal has been a boundary, unfortunately. I do miss good music. Like, I do miss a good.
What music? Well, what are we talking about?
I went to this thing at just electronic music.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I never grew up with it. It wasn't until I got into the club, like I started working in the clubs. And I even remember me when I first started working in the clubs, because I used to work at the SB before that, and it was like rock bands. It was rock bands and grungy rock bands. I was started working in the SB during it was the indie rock. It was the indie rock revival globally. The Strokes. We had Jet.
Yeah, love all that.
Melbourne's live music scene was like, it was it was once in like a generation type of music scene. You hear about people talk about the music in the 60s, for example, your parents. Yeah, the early 2000s indie rock revival was like that time for us. And then suddenly I'm working at this electronic music club, and I just remember walking upstairs going, oh, I suppose I'll deal with this for a while. Pays good, tips are great. There's always people, I don't know why, but there's always money on the floor. And there was. I used to walk out of there with like $200 every time I walked, just from cash on the floor, and
Crazy.
like my pay and tips. So I'm walking out of there with $600 on a Saturday night as a uni student. I'm doing good, and then eventually I was like, I actually like this song, and then eventually, I suppose a year in, I'm like, yep. Now these are my friends, and we're going to these clubs together, and now we're dancing to those songs voluntarily. I'm dancing to them voluntarily in other clubs. Okay. And so it grew on me.
Yeah, it's
And
a
it's
grower sometimes, I would say. Like the electronic music for me was something my first time at Revolver, I was like, everyone's so sweaty. And like, I just didn't like it the first time. And then I went back after my, Inner Raver was activated in Bristol. And I was like, oh, yeah, I get it.
You get it. Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny because when the first time I went there, you would have been 11. You would have been 11 years old. And, it's crazy to think about it now that, I was 19, you were 11, and here we are still talking about these institutions today and the impact they've had on us. And, like if we really wanted to, I could pack up the equipment and just go there now if I wanted,
Most likely.
Yeah. It's so interesting, and it's nice to see that, because you were talking earlier and I had this reflection while you were talking. It's like, Jess kind of chose the fork in the road that I didn't choose, which was to get more involved in the electronic music scene because she loved it. Whereas I felt like, well, because of the circumstances of life and obviously now being pregnant, got to walk away from this, right?
Yeah.
And the forks in the road, you went, more than two directions, but you went one way and I went another way. And it's nice to see that you have such a love for it and that you're finding a way to continue going down your fork and carving new forks along the way, and which include, helping people to, like me, to reignite or continue to have a passion for that scene without feeling like they need to totally withdraw.
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah,
you were who I needed to meet 10 years ago. Yeah.
Well, exactly like what I do now is what I needed more like 5-6 years ago or even before that. And you said earlier actually about like the corporates, like if you could like chat about like what, like be real with someone, share you're having a bit of stress and then start your day. And it makes me like reflect on like, I think that's a big part of what I like I'm passionate about, is creating spaces where we can be surrounded by people that understand us, like fellow music lovers, but creating spaces where we can be real and honest and get support and be listened to and heard, and to share and talk about our life's challenges as well. And to do that off the dance floor and create workshops and things like that. And so firstly, because when you're listened to and you have a supportive network, you're less likely to want to escape on the weekends. You're more likely to have conscious choices. But then also like you're around people that really get you. So there is less shame in that you didn't sleep all weekend, or that you're feeling like on a Tuesday a come down. Like you're around your people and we can just like actually support each other, and rather it be some big separate thing like on Monday the party stops and I have to put these masks back on. It can just be like more of a bridge is really like what I am passionate about creating.
Yep. And what do you do for work these days?
I run Sacred Raving.
That's it.
So I'm a coach and a mentor.
Full time.
I run an app as well as part of the Sacred Raving app. So
was that a transition from another life for you, or?
So I worked for like 5-6 years at the Bike Project, and
oh, cool.
And that was like I volunteered with refugees for like 4 months in Greece, and then through that I got offered a job in London, and so I was like, okay, like I was born in London, I've got a passport, yes, I'll move to London. Back to the UK. And this was when I was like 25, and literally like that job I started as office manager, like customer service manager, and I was just all up for learning. We were a small charity, and during the time I was there, we grew into like a medium charity, and all the skills that I need, like basically now to run my project, I learned through there, and I had an amazing
that good?
mentor. Yeah. So that was a transition, and like I ended up working for them freelance for a while as I started running some workshops and traveling and nomading after I quit the permanent job, and they wanted me back. And I said, well, I can only work 3 days a week and I can have to work from anywhere in the world. So I did that for a couple of
Oh, cool.
years. Yeah.
Nice.
And just
On your
slowly
terms.
on my terms. It was very exciting because I could literally I was managing comedy events in London from Melbourne.
That's so cool. Yeah. I mean, probably not ideal some of the hours that you were working, but also those were your terms and you got to live
Yeah.
by them. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you started Sacred Raving and everything else.
Yeah, so slowly just like transition, because the more time the more time I work is the less time I can build my own thing. And like, I do have moments where I like have my self-doubt like overpowers me, and I just like freak the fuck out. I think like maybe this won't work out, and I start looking for other jobs, and I'm like, all of my skills, why would I work for someone else to do all the same things that I'm really good at, and I could just do it for my own business.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Like how, this imposter syndrome, it exists. And then one small thing changes, like someone's actually just going to pay me to do this. They're taking the risk on me. So then I'm going to just do it.
Yeah.
But then I take the risk on myself and, oh, no, I don't know if I could do this. But then they take the risk on me and I'm like, I'm happy to do it. And then I'm going to take the risk on myself. No. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's all it is. It's either risk. Who's taking the risk? Oh, you're taking the risk. Great. I'll come and be an asset for you. I'm taking the risk. Cool. I don't know. I know my morning routine.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't take a risk on me.
It's scary as fuck. It's hard.
It's interesting. Everyone goes through it. Everyone. Literally everyone. But we don't see it. See every single one of these people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 people walking past us go through it. They're going through it themselves.
Yeah.
They're going through it every day in their jobs.
Yeah, 100%.
They deal with it different ways in their lives. You know, young man carrying a bag, probably got sports shoes in there, probably plays for a team, got to try out, got to do his best, got to make the team. You know, we're all going through it all the time.
Yeah.
So normal.
There's all just so many pressures.
They're self-imposed.
Yeah.
They don't exist. They're fugazi. We're spinning around the sun. You know, like this. None of it exists. So then you're like, no. I can do this. I can take the risk on it. Now, of course, have a bit of financial backing and have a plan. You know, have some support, like a mentor.
I wish I
Invest
in yourself.
Invest in yourself. That's the number one thing you should invest in.
100%. Like that is where my life changed, when I stopped spending money on partying, all my money and traveling, and being like, okay, I need to change something. I need to invest in myself.
I would say that traveling is probably a hard one to kick because it is kind of like an investment in yourself in a way. Like
100% it is.
Yeah.
But when I said that at that time, I was traveling largely to go to festivals.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Pretty much. But most of my money was being spent in party-related things.
Party-related things.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then your mindset shifted. You started investing in yourself. What does that look like? What does investing in yourself look like for you?
You know, find something that you know you need to work on. So self-forgiveness or connecting with yourself, and pay for a course, pay for a mentor. Like for me, like I did a 3-week yoga retreat where I was just doing yoga, meditating every day in Mexico.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Just start with something and follow your joy, like those little whispers that say like, but yeah, I've always wanted to do a yoga retreat. Oh, but I've got the job, and will the money work out? Oh, but like, this. No, like your little whisper is the voice to listen to.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
This is happening because I'm using a new setting on this camera, and it might shut down again. But I'm using a new low light setting on this brand new Insta360 X5.
Oh,
It's an incredible camera, but and I've had the power bank attached to it
yeah.
for the last X amount of recordings that I've done. But for the last 2 weeks, I've been testing out a new setting, which is way better in low light because we're having still wintry low light conditions. And the footage looks incredible. So we're going to come up looking schmick.
Oh, thank you.
But it seems like the charge and the battery haven't been, working together. So apologies for that. But anyway, it's on now, and it says it's charging, and it should have been charging the whole time. So I don't know. But we're also an hour and 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
So where we are right now is with you and work and full time. We've talked about imposter syndrome. So it must be such a big deal for you to have. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to watch you. I'm watching you. It must be such a big deal for you to have had the win that you had this week with your client that you had the win with. That's validation. That's validating for you to know that you're on the right track, or that what you've chosen to invest your life into is having an impact on others. That's very meaningful. Well done to you.
Thank you.
Big pat on the back.
Yes.
Extended arm.
And like it really helps and supports because like at the early stages of a passion project / business, you have to put a lot of love and energy into it. And like there's the financial exchange is slow as you build things. And so to know that something I've created has then had impact, and like to get these stories from people which are coming in more and more, like I just like it just makes me feel so I feel so just like honored, honestly, like, and it warms me and inspires me to keep on going.
Yeah. And these are people that do your course.
Do my course or use my app as well.
Okay, so you got an app, you got a course, and they're all available 24/7 without you needing to physically be there. And then you offer some one-on-one coaching as well on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You're like a full solopreneur.
Yeah.
You are.
It's crazy.
Ooh. Those people, they work very hard. So, yeah, incredible.
Thank you.
I know. I mean, I've had people on the podcast. Oh, I want to start my own course. I want to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm sitting in front of someone that's done it. That's doing it. You've got an app.
I got an app.
You mentioned that yesterday, but I didn't download it.
Yeah, Sacred Raving is the app for anyone that wants to check it out. It's like electronic music inspired well-being, because like you can be healthy and in the morning you don't have to just sit and meditate or do yoga or stretching. You can actually put on a morning rave ritual in the app and dance for 10-15 minutes, and that's going to be good for your well-being. So it's catering to people that
You're kidding.
yeah. So
I could just put some music on in the morning.
That's all you need to do. Go your playlist. Don't even need my app. Just press play on your favorite playlist.
Actually, I'd love your playlists. I'm sure
It's
that'd be
pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
That'd be better than mine. I've got a feeling they would be. Well, I was there. I was at your event in June, and it was a good playlist. It was good music. Now it's actually charging. And I'm like, yeah. You know what I've always thought when I'm in those spaces? Where can I find like a playlist with this music on it?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, God, for bringing Jess to me now, finally, to provide me with a place that I probably could have got myself. But no, that's really great, and you're seeing success. Well done to you. And then, what's the next iteration for you? I mean, do you have a goal yourself, or where you want to get? Things you want to achieve, or incremental things that that are telling you that you're on the right track to keep going?
Yeah, my biggest goal is just like, because I'm creating like a network behind the scenes with lots of different like systems and things like that allows my business to run automated, but still giving lots of support. So nearly finished that kind of project, but then my kind of short to long-term goal is to go through the festival season that I am about just started. I run my workshops at festivals, and to be creating passive income from that, doing my courses, getting people into the app. That's one of my goals, and to grow the event ritual, the Sacred Rave, the club event. I'd love to run a retreat, a ravers retreat.
Yeah.
And then like they're kind of more like shorter term goals, but my vision for my life is to like have property where I can run events, retreats, doofs, festivals on, and do like what we did at Ritual in the club, but have it in nature. And like because I'm a traveler, I would love to create a space where I could have woofers, like work away people.
I did that. I did work away in Europe.
Yeah. So you come to my farm, help me on my garden, like be a little mama to the people, running workshops, all the things, and having sick parties in the bush, like with great sound systems. That's kind of my like vision.
I feel it. I feel it now. I feel it. I think it's when you said sick parties, I was like,
yeah.
Look at the PTSD. The positive PTSD's coming back.
Apparently it's called emotional recall.
Oh, emotional recall. That's a more mature way of calling it.
Someone told it to me.
Post, not traumatic, post
techno.
liberating. Yeah, it's liberating. Techno. It is. It's liberating. Yeah, moving like that. So I need to go out tonight.
Trance. I'm going to a psytrance party.
I want to go tonight. Honestly, I need it. That's it. You've geared me up. I got to go. And I'll be well behaved for sure, but I just need the music. Where is it? I got to go.
Coburg.
Coburg's doable. We'll talk about this offline. Yeah, my soul has been missing music. The music.
Yes, it's the music. And that's why your soul first loved it. But then you think it's just the...
No, I'm not. I haven't made that mistake. Okay. I haven't. But, you get there and one thing leads to another. Yeah. My mistake, my awareness is totally around the boundaries when I get there.
Yeah.
I have never by any means, thankfully, ever mistaken that it's the music that I go for. But yes, I have very transparent boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one of those fences. In those property, like you go out and they're building like, like a suburb or something, and they're like, there's a little stake in the ground in some soil, and it just says like, this is the fence line.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yep.
Yeah. And then you go to Toorak and they've got hedges and 7-foot walls. I'm the first one. I don't have the 7-foot wall. I've got a picket fence now. I'm going to say I've got a picket fence now. Mm-hmm. It's going to hurt to climb over. If you don't climb over it properly, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty easy to climb over.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Let's do some more fence analogies.
Boundaries though, like, I'm still building my fence. Like, it's not easy to always have boundaries and to stick to them.
You've got to have boundaries in so many different areas of your life too.
So many different areas.
You've got to have boundaries with work. Not let your boss tell you got to stay at the time. You've got to have boundaries with your parents to not intrude on your personal life. You've got to have boundaries with that friend and that friend and that friend and this and that and your kids.
And with yourself. That's the hardest one. I said I wasn't going to have another slice of cake, but I want it.
I literally have no boundaries. At the moment, I go to Coles literally daily and buy a packet of mini blueberry muffins and scoff the entire thing. I have zero boundaries. My girlfriend will tell you. She'll tell you. She's like, she can hear me. She can hear me from the other room when I've opened up the pantry.
What have you done?
Slicing open another box of... We laugh about it. I work out a lot and I eat pretty healthy otherwise.
Balance.
Yes, balance. Being very balance conscious has supported my lack of boundaries in areas of my life, including cheeky, harmless ones like diet, which I'm sure will get less harmless as I get older, But I exercise, I walk a lot. And it's like, okay, cool. But now it's time. It's time to step back into an electronic music room and test those boundaries out again. And look, potentially fail. Tomorrow's Sunday.
Well, I actually say like to my, clients that going out with like a scientist mentality that like you're and with just curiosity,
Scientist.
you're just collecting data
Okay.
and you're learning about like, okay, so how would it feel to go out tonight and just try saying no to everything that's offered to me? What will the results be?
Oh, and carry a pen and paper.
Carry a little pen and paper.
10:05. Bump in front of my face.
Yeah. What feelings have come up?
I stood and I tried to inhale it unintentionally tried to inhale it without sniffing.
Kind of like smelling the bag of chips.
Politely declined. That was hard. 11:05. Is that bump still available? Bump had.
And what happened next? How did it change your state of being?
The notebook went away. 7:05 a.m. 7:05 a.m. That was good. I've probably got a lot of gaps in this. Between 11:05 and 7:05. You better fill that in. Backfill that. A lot happens. And you know what, for me? It's a lot of conversations. A lot. I'm a big talker.
But do you remember them?
No.
So imagine if you could remember them.
Well, I do. I have been able to recall in the immediate future.
Okay, yeah, I see.
But the hangover's just too brutal. Like, it's a number one priority to figure out where I can get food and bring my blood sugar levels or whatever needs to be fixed here back to an equilibrium. And then I'm getting ready for Monday.
Yeah.
So conversation doesn't matter anymore. But yeah, I've got some great conversations. Look, they're club conversations. Could I have these anywhere? Yes, that's why I started a podcast. So I could do this chat with you here.
Yeah.
And not have to do it in there all the time, because that's where I was getting my fix. I was going to, look, and you know how I said to you before, I could do all of this all night, every club, the whole weekend on alcohol. It's because I was just talking the whole time. I mean, there was look, don't get me wrong, I was dancing. I love the music, I love being there. But I was just having these like really beautiful conversations with people who were just open. And I had never experienced this in my life, like really being able to like just be vulnerable. Let's open up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even
100%.
drugs. Sometimes it was just alcohol.
But alcohol is the same in the sense, so
Yeah.
you'll release your inhibitions and things like that.
Sure. Which is great. And then the podcast. It was like, then I realized, hang on, this is the thing all the time that I've always just loved. And I joke about it in one episode where I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing the thing that I used to do when I worked in the bars, except I'm doing it here.
It's actually very,
Beautiful.
we could joke about it, but it's actually like very like, there's a lot of wisdom in it. And, you've seen something that you value that gives you nourishment, connection and conversations and talking. And it's like, so for I think a lot of people that are more in their party days now would relate to that. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to give that up. So how can I bring in more connection and conversation into my life outside the party?
Buy a neon sign.
Yeah, buy a neon sign, start a podcast, join a sharing group, go to like. So I think it's cool,
That's
like
good.
to like see what you value and and then look where it's ended up. You've got a podcast in Hosier Lane with a neon sign. Yeah, made it.
Yeah. But I love that. So you help people to identify the questions. And you spoon feed them the questions, so you fast track their development. Because for me, it took 20 years. It took 10 years to get there, right? Figuring it out on my own. But with your support and the support of your course, your app, and the community that you're building, It's like, oh, you just ask them a question. You know, what is it that you come here for? What is it that you love about this? A question they may not even have, like me, thought to themselves for 10 years. Now they're doing this thing. They don't know why. See, I do everything. I don't know why I'm doing it. It just feels right. It just feels right to do this. It takes me a long time to reflect on, oh, that's it. It's been conversations this whole time. That's why, you know, at that club, you'll find me in that area, you know, where it's just a little more quiet.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm drinking like crazy, and like it goes from like midnight to 8 a.m. But gosh, how many good chats did I have in that time? And
Yeah.
and it was and then there was a recognition that I'd walk out of these rooms and I'd be like, wish I'd recorded that chat.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I needed that one. They needed that one. The person that I was sitting across from, you could tell that the frequency was just the reciprocal.
Yeah.
You know, it was as much nourishing one another. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, Louis here getting, all right, oh, everyone like, all right, Louis needs to chat again. No, it's like I have a recognition that it's reciprocal benefit in this sitting here and just doing this.
It's like your smokers section was like your university to run a podcast, like how you got into training to run one.
100%. 1,000,000%. And then when you think about the environment that I'm in right now, isn't it funny? Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
That look at this. Doesn't this kind of remind you of
Yeah,
somewhere
like-
that we kind of know?
Yeah.
You know, where I can actually, you know, bust out a dart, you know, and just start smoking. And I've had beers here, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm doing that same thing
Yeah.
that I've always loved, except without the music. And I haven't been getting that fix, and it needs to end. That needs to end now. My electronic music drought needs to end. But we're almost out of battery. Have you had a good time?
I have had a good time. This
I mean,
is
I've talked
fun.
a lot, but
No, I love it.
I can see that you do.
Oh.
I can.
I like to be present and I like to listen.
You are a great listener, but I can tell that you're very present, but also it's like you're taking in data points. Every time someone says something, you're like, yeah, there's another thing. There's another thing that I can reflect on that reminds me of the other thing that I say to my community, or that helps me be better at the service I'm providing, the coaching that I give. Yeah, you are very present. It's actually really nice to just sit and talk to you.
Thank you.
Because we didn't really talk much.
No. He came to one of my events.
Yeah, it was
I threw him in the
Instagram.
deep end.
What's tonight's event going to be like?
Well, it is a psytrance event.
What's that?
Do you know like psytrance?
Is that very,
Like-
very fast?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're more like a.
Oh, look.
It's psychedelic as well. It's like,
Psytrance.
psytrance. Yeah, it's a bit hectic.
So show me where to go on YouTube so I can
Yeah,
see if it's really going to be like the right thing for me.
because that's actually, you've got to choose where you go to, and I think that's a
That's
big
true.
part of like how you can then go into these spaces. Yeah, have a few beers, have this, but like wake up like feeling like, yeah, I was in control. Is go to an event that you're gonna feel like good in. You're gonna like the music ish. You're gonna like feel comfortable. Like that is important for the journey.
Yes, that is. Thank you for, because I don't know where those places are anymore.
Yeah.
I need to find them.
Maybe you need like a night back at like 161, just like, here
Oh,
I
yeah.
am again. No.
No, last time I went there, I knew I knew those days were over. It's just, these kids.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that for me
These
it's
kids
important.
weren't even
Yeah.
conceived yet.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Because I'm in this festival scene a lot, and I'm 33 now, and like I don't have that's fine, but I forget that like most people are younger, and it can be a little dangerous. Like I just like, I'm like, oh, here we go again. I just got with a 23-year-old, didn't realize that, but yeah, it's fine. I don't fine, but I'm like, yeah, I didn't even know your age, but like we're both dancing,
Doesn't
and
matter
then
when you're 23. and you see a 33-year-old babe looking that good, you're like, yes.
They didn't even know I was 33. When he's like, how old are you? I'm like 33. And he's like, do you want to know how old I
That's a
am? I'm
win.
like,
Secretly, they're like, that's a win. We put that in us boys.
I reckon he put that in a win
that's
for
a
sure.
W column. Yes. Gets the journal out. 8:05. Kissed a hot 33-year-old. Yeah. Oh, how funny is life?
Oh, it's beautiful. It is
That's what it
funny.
comes down to.
Like that's the thing. You've just got to have like fun and like not take things too serious. I like to be like real and deep at times, but I'm also silly. Like, we have to have fun. Like life is for living.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah, I think that's why we get along. Because I like to be the same. Take the piss here or there, get deep and meaningful here or there. But ultimately, we're here for a very short time. I mean, life does feel long sometimes. It does. But then you put it in context of like the planet and the universe. And you're like, oh, geez, we're just like speckles. We're like a match.
yeah.
Strike the match. It has this beautiful youth, like the bright bit, and then it has the bit where it dies out, and then just that little bit at the end near your fingertips, that just sort of where you can tell the flickers. It's just about to before it goes out. That's it. But that's us, and it happens that quickly, in the context of this. Smoke gone.
Yeah.
Got to enjoy it more. So thank you for providing a space or a place for people to, figure out how to do it, and let their soul get the thing that they need from the music, without needing to feel like they've got to, all the other stuff comes with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very lucky that we live in a time where someone's thinking about solving these problems. So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. Forever raving sacred raver, So, yeah.
You've got another handle as well. There's a Sacred Raving on Instagram.
Yeah. And then I DJs and do other bits and bobs. So I have Galactic Rainbow as well.
Sorry.
I'll be DJing the next event. So if you don't go out tonight, then maybe you can come and see me DJ.
Shoot me an invite for sure. But yeah, Jess, it's been so good. I've got to clap this one out because we're running out of everything.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming. It's been so good. And the sushi and conversation. And you made it all the way here from Brighton.
Elwood.
1, 2, 3.
I'm in Elwood now.
Funny.
I'm in 3. Seriously, when I moved to Elwood, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I live so close to Brighton. But it's not. It's Elwood.
Yeah.
Postcode is